Hello, everyone. My name is Carrie Johnson, and welcome to my kitchen. So, today I'm going to do some prep work. Yesterday, um, I got some donations from MAC Charities, and how the way in which they bag their donations is based on individual household size. So, I have some rice here that I am going to boil. And again, they package it based on household size. So I've got some rice that I'm going to boil. Then two cans of two canned goods, some peas and some corn. I'm going to add that in with the rice, as well as four potatoes here that I'm going to peel and add to make it a hearty meal for a work lunch. And for a little bit of flavor and heat, I am going to use my gochujang paste. I love this paste and I've been using it for a while. I bought this over at World Market and I love it. I would try to incorporate this to a lot of stir fries because I do eat a lot of rice. So yesterday I did this side dish for lunch. I did the cranberry chicken pasta salad, and it's properly labeled with the date. I didn't put the time, but if you want to be more specific, one thing I would say with pasta salad, uh, if it doesn't taste good after 7 days, do not try and eat it. I've tried eating pasta salad. It's been in my refrigerator for over 7 days, and it does not taste good. I know. So that's just my recommendation for any of you out there that might watch this video. So then once I'm done with the meal, cooking the meal, I'm gonna put them in package them in these Rubbermaid containers that I got over at my local Walmart for lunch. So if you can see, take the camera over here. Potatoes are already kind of just there. I'm gonna go ahead and peel these over here, and then bring this over here. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and peel these. Peel these. Let's see if I can move some stuff around. I've got the camera going over here and have this facing more so you can see what I am doing. Roll up these sleeves. Got a little clipboard over here. Oh, I'm actually missing something. Hang on just a second. All right, I am back. So there are a few things that I did want to mention in this video when it comes to local restaurants that are hiring. Um, and people should, people are on their phones all day at work, but they were more concerned about watching me while I was on my phone, but they don't want to be on their phone looking for certain stuff. Like 123ce.com. They have multiple choice, a multiple choice exam on human resources management update and review. There are different topics. I think it's a total of 6 chapters. I am going to try and find this link to 123ce.com. It's continuing education for those that are in the culinary profession, that are probably in team member positions that they have already proven to restaurant managers, either the GM, the restaurant manager, or the kitchen manager, that they have already outgrown positions um, um, with regards to like the team member positions, such as bartender, host, hostess, busser, server, dishwasher, and you have a food prep person and then cook. So I think that TGI Fridays has priced their based on, I still use onetonline.org when looking at what position should be listed for hourly or salary. So for bartender, TGI Fridays, on the maximum and minimum hourly wage, the bartender is making about $8.23. Hostess at a minimum of $13 per hour and a maximum of about $13 per hour. Busser, the minimum in which TGI Fridays will pay is $13 an hour, and then a maximum of $14 an hour. Servers, they have both the minimum and the maximum amount in which they will pay a server at TGI Fridays is $6.38. Dishwasher, a minimum of $13 per hour starting rate and a maximum of $15 is how far they will go in paying a dishwasher. For a cook, you have $14 an hour on the low end, and on the high end, you've got $16 an hour. I think that the cook position is probably the highest position that they will pay a team member. If you know that something is not 3 times your rent, um, it's time that you really start assessing, you know, looking into, fixing your resume to where you can start applying for positions on the managerial side, since you've demonstrated every aspect of the full service restaurant through these team member positions. Prep is $13 an hour on the low end, and for the high end of a food prep worker in the kitchen is $14 an hour. I think it's priced that the hourly wage is it's compare in comparison to Onet online. I think it's pretty accurate. Um, and I think for food prep workers, they have $11.92. And for TGI Fridays, they are starting the maximum they're willing to pay a food prep person is $14 an hour. Um, Minimum wage in the state of Connecticut has reached $13 an hour. So they're right on target with that as far as the team member positions go. Um, Managers at restaurants, I am almost certain, have a sense of awareness with regards to how much they're paying people to work for them in their restaurants. So um, if you know on the lowest end of your staff that they are getting paid $6.38 cents an hour, um, there's a certain level of awareness that you should probably have with consideration for them to maybe put in the employee hangout area in which they eat their lunch and take their lunch break, a resource board, develop a resource board um, for the state in which your restaurant is in. And, you know, I don't necessarily see this on any of the job descriptions for restaurant manager, GM, or the kitchen manager. In Connecticut, they have three different managers. In previous restaurants that I've worked in other states, I always dealt with the GM or the kitchen managers. So I didn't realize that there were three different types of managers in the state of Connecticut. They have a GM, they have a restaurant manager, and then they have a kitchen manager. So, but nowhere does it say in the job description that they have to develop a resource board for their employees. Maybe this might be something on the restaurant manager's side, um, developing that board with resource numbers for them for different uh, services that are outside of the restaurant that they could go to for uh, food pantries or if they need bus tickets to work. I have to tell you, I worked at a catering company in Manhattan, and there was an issue with one of the Sodexo general managers. He was yelling at the dishwasher because he gave his bus pass to one of the workers, and he was just yelling at the top of his lungs about what did you do with my bus pass? And he gave him his bus pass to use in the past, and it disappeared. So uh, the second time it happened, I happened to be working that day in that Manhattan catering company, and the head Sodexo manager, he was screaming at the top of his lungs, what did you do with my pass? Because in New York, if you don't know, a bus pass that gets you through all of the train stations, um, I think it's $100 for the bus pass. It's 110, I think, in New York, and it'll get you all around for 1 month. So he was kind of the head chef was like flipping out on the dishwasher, like, dude, I gave you my bus pass, and where's my bus pass? What did you do with it? I have to be able to, leave. So that might be something that you, as uh, the restaurant manager, and make it a team effort. Say, hey, if you know of any resources for those that are team members and you're of the low income or below poverty line, or what I like to consider, and they should classify this as considered a working homeless person, meaning you do work and you have a full time job. However, um, you just work to pay bills, and your money goes to just that, working to pay bills. And maybe your servers might need clothes, work clothes. Mac Charities has a thrift store, and they will give you one clothing voucher per year. That was kind of like a homework assignment that I gave for myself to kind of experience it and see what it's like. But it was for $25, and you can grab a few things, and a winter coat is for free. So for those cold days that you have to come into work. So I kind of got to see that, and so that is something that might be a barrier for certain people that come to work, and they work in your restaurant for you, at the very most 5 days out the week, and they might come to work hungry. So making it a point for you as servers to start opening up your mouths and telling your management hey, I have to take off this specific day and time because this pantry is open so I can go and grab food and I can prep my lunch for the week, the work week. Or I need to grab clothes. Or I might have to go and get a bus pass through this nonprofit organization that will help get me to work on time. So they would understand something like that. Clearly, if I know that my server is making $6.38, I will understand something like that. But nowhere on the GM, the kitchen manager, nor the restaurant manager does it say and clearly express in their job description that they are supposed to develop a resource board. This is just an idea for you that are out there and you work in the restaurant industry and you know that, especially even living in New York, on $16 an hour for a general cook, that's like a bottle of water in New York City. Um, you know, be mindful that you have people that are working for you every single day, and there might be some barriers or limitations that might affect their mood and their energy and their attitude when coming to work. If you're aware of that, when it comes to scheduling, you will make a way for them to, you know, get to where it is that they need to go to get any kind of supportive services that would help alleviate some of the stress when they come to work hungry or they need a coat or some additional clothing. Um, so that's something that I wanted to say during this video. I'm going to take a sip of water. So I'm going to go ahead and peel these potatoes now and stop talking. Um, so I want the servers and all the team members to have an understanding that, they're not responsible for that. You're an adult and no one is responsible for taking on that parental role for anyone that works in the kitchen. So I have to say that I brought one child into this world, and she is an extension of my character, not the people that I work with. Because there have been some people trying to get use the government to get me to defend them. However, I don't know their character past work, and some of them are foreigners in New York City, in which I had to be on unemployment. But my supervisor, he was still working for this Jewish family owned business in Brooklyn. And I kind of thought, like, well, I don't know him past work. So, um, when things kind of got rough during COVID, obviously the culinary industry was hit pretty hard. I don't know how much it affected his life, but it most certainly affected mine. So, and my household finances. So that's kind of why I wanted to say that and mention it in this video. Um, I would think that that was common sense, but sometimes people just don't know, or the GMs are the general manager probably wants me to say how I feel because they might feel the same way. They might not express it to you, but hey, I feel the same way. I don't. These are not my kids. They're on, and I see them on the phone because I can see them on camera all the time on their phones talking to their other co-workers about what they did over the weekend, but you don't want to take the time to um, fill out an application regarding housing. That's another and that might be another barrier that might be affecting your work performance. However, that is not the GM's job to be concerning themselves with your housing situation. And you can Google low income housing Section 8 vouchers that might be open already and can continue to do that and see what is available and fill out an application online or fill out a pre-screening so that you can say, hey, I at least got my name on a list. However, the way in which I see Section 8 housing is it's supposed to be something that's temporary, and that hopefully during the time in which you are on Section 8 housing, that you are trying to make improvements in your household finances, either through short-term technical training in a field in which there's always expansion and it will never it's always a need for that field. There's some guys that will go and become mechanics. We need some ethical mechanics to work on cars for single mothers, because I can say that I most certainly have been taken advantage of with regards to mechanics and stuff working on my cars. So, improve your household finances through technical training. There are educational programs that are available short term through local community colleges, and then setting some short term goals for education to improve your income while on that voucher, and then hopefully if you want to do something more long term. What I remember back in high school is that they would always say, well, in order to get a job, you have to have a high school diploma or a GED. And then if you want to make even more money, you have to pursue a higher level of education. Um, and they would always say that to me in high school. And I believed that, and I was so young and naive. And here it is, I'm 37 years old, and I have been having issues with employment since the age of 17, and I've never made any real money. I think the most that I've ever been offered is $16 an hour. I have not even been able to take a family vacation with the members that are actually a part of my household. My household structure consists of one adult and one daughter. And I remember with my mom, because she worked in the mortgage industry, we took a family vacation to Walt Disney World when we were living in Missouri. And that was the only family vacation that she and I ever took. And we stayed at the Holiday Inn Suites, and we went on all the rides and stuff. And it was just, she was a single parent household. And that was the only time that we were able to take a vacation. I've never been outside the country before. I've never been outside the United States, so my only perception of foreigners is what I'm able to get on the East Coast. And New York was like this pot for sure of and it was culture shock for me living in New York, because I've never been around those types of people before. Um, so it wasn't the best representation. So you guys in New York pretty much ruined it after 1 year. Like, wow, you guys really burn bridges fast. You burn bridges really fast with people that you just met. So, I didn't really get to enjoy New York City. I was, again, like, I classified myself at that point as a working homeless person in New York City in the culinary profession. And yeah, $16 an hour in New York City won't get you anywhere. You won't be able to enjoy life. You're just working to pay bills. That's it, at the very most. So I've got my potatoes peeled, and I'm going to pop these back in the fridge until I'm ready to use them, and boil up this water and throw some rice on. All right.